It's bigger. It's louder. It's better than ever. This still isn't your typical motorsports podcast. This is the 10th anniversary of Crush This, a Monster Truck podcast brought to you by J Concepts. For 10 years, your hosts, the Monster Truck Canucker Brad Shaw and Dan Chichagash, have brought you into the minds and personalities of the monster truck industry. Strap in and hold on tight. This is Crush This!
Good night. I'm just kidding, guys. Welcome to another episode of Crush This, a Monster Truck podcast, celebrating 10 years. Can't believe that. We only got a few weeks left before number 11 comes in, but there's some different changes going to be coming around, and some cool stuff for Brad. Good luck in the upcoming year, and go for gold. So.
Sorry to jump in here, Cheech. You're muted. For some reason, it muted you.
Dang it, I'm muted again.
There you go. All right.
Congratulations for Brad to do schooling. He's going to do something that his Edmonton Oilers haven't done, and that's going to be finish. So,
whoa. Hold on right there, buddy. Okay. I might be pissed at my Edmonton Oilers. Okay. I might hate Stuart Skinner with a passion, but I'm still an Edmonton Oilers fan. At some point they're going to get their crap together. Okay. Bye.
But he could do something they haven't done and finish it up. So good luck for that, Brad. Do what you need to do. It's pretty cool stuff. Once again, I'm going to do, I wasn't on last week, getting ready, for, some upcoming stuff like that for Christmas and getting stuff going on there. But, look how hard this Gravedigger shirt is. I'm not gonna lie. That's some hard stuff right there. Got it from Topic. Found it from Tyler Meninga. So thanks, Tyler, for that. But I had to wear it this time around. But I can't not say thank you enough to what I normally wear, J Concepts. The two trucks back behind me are all J Concept trucks. You got the Lone Ranger right here, old classic truck, and then you got George Bellham, then Escalade, World Finals truck. Yeah, the tires are on backwards, but it is what it is. Going to get more and more closer to get that going on with the lights. Going to get 3D printed, the spinning rims, stuff like that. So before you know it's going to be looking like George's truck. Kind of already does in general. But go to jconcepts.net for 15% off. When you come to check out and get yourself some of this, if you're into the RC world, that's cool. Do that stuff. Want to let you know also that I'm in the works a little bit to hopefully talk to my bosses about maybe showing a car crush. This weekend I'll be at Gun Barrel City, Texas, the most Texas named city in the United States. Gun Barrel. Can't beat that, but I may try to see and show you guys, a little bit of that stuff and go from there. And that'd be pretty cool stuff. So a little bit on the works and stuff like that. Go from there. But also to show us some support and love, go to our Crush This on Monster Truck podcast on our spreadshop.com. Get some merch, show some merch, do some cool like that. Get some Monster Cats t-shirts. That'd be pretty cool to do to help us out through our podcast and whatnot. So please do that. That'd be awesome to do. Thank you. And go to our Crush This on Monster Truck podcast, spreadshop.com. While you're at it too, when you don't have our iTunes or Spotify going on and you need to get kicked on the Crush This podcast way of life, go to monstersmonthly.com. We have the audio and everything like that going on. He gets that hooked up. Go on the website and go ahead and listen to our podcast. So that'd be pretty cool here too. And for Sean Green, we got to do it. Do it for Jimmy. Do it. We always got to continue on for that love. Do it for Jimmy and everything like that too. But So yeah, and then our next guest for next week, we've been trying to get him on. We finally have, and his name is Bill Bufka. Bill Bufka was a mechanic and a crew member. Also helped build engines for Bigfoot from 1987 to 1997. His son, Brass Ring Fabrication, makes those really, really cool RC trucks. And go take a look at his stuff too. And so we're going to have him there. So there's going to be some, and then after that, we have 2 more episodes before New Year's. Those are going to be recorded. So after next week's episode with Bill, you won't see us live until January 6th. And then we'll let you know who that will be. So this will be pretty cool to go see. But I'm doing too much talking. Wait a minute. I'm in a talking program. I'm going to talk anyway. And we're going to go ahead and let's see here. We got some people already. I can't say that, Travis. Probably Robby already knows what you already said to him. But we can't do it. It's a kid's show. And so we're going to go ahead and thank one of our awesome sponsors. And then we're going to have Robby from All Monster join us and have a good chat and everything like that. Plus, Brad will be with us too. So cool things to do here. So we are going to go now.
Are you ready to get in on the action here on the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel? Look no further. Head over to Facebook where you can sign up for all the great events we host right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Be sure to sign up for the events and register your name and get locked in with a monster truck of your own and get ready for the great thrills and spills right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Again, find us on Facebook, register for these events, and you soon will be competing in all the great events. We hope to see you there. And get ready for the wild and crazy action. Be sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a beat right here on the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel.
And go check out MTA, Steve Jones. Love what they do. But what's up, guys? It's been a while since we've had a full-on podcast. A good song, but as Cheech said in the beginning, a lot of cool things happening for me. I am starting a graphic design course in January, so you won't see me as much, but I'll still be around. Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, I have class. One of my classes from 6 p.m. at night here, Mountain Time, till 8:20. So Thursday nights, just for about until May. I won't be on much, maybe on pre-recorded episodes, but hey, that's the price I got to pay for wanting to chase my dream. So I'm excited, but Cheech, this is going to be a great episode. We had the Monster Blog guys on early in the year, celebrating their 20th anniversary, but another, big page of monster trucks throughout the years has been allmonster.com. And with us is Mr. Robby Hutt from All Monster. Hopefully I'm saying your last name right.
Yeah, it's like caught except with an H, man. That's what I tell everybody. Boy, you guys got to be scraping the bottom of the barrel, man, to get me on here. This is crazy.
No, we're not. Trust me, we're not. This is it's so cool to have the Monster Blog guys on, and then you on. Like I said, because both websites for a long time were the news websites. Monster Zone, Truck World, those were kind of going away, and the Monster Blog and you guys kind of started coming up. What kind of gave you guys the idea? Well, first, let's go back even further. How did you get into your fandom of monster trucks?
So the story goes that, well, first, let me back up. I will say for Ross and the boys at Monster Blog, all love. I got to see them in Winchester a little bit. Got to see Danny and Ross, and man, it was good to catch up with them. Great folks, yeah. When it comes to my fandom and the things that I got started in, the story goes that when I was a young lad, barely able to form sentences, Tough Tracks came on, and I was a little about, 3 years old or so. And apparently my dad was flipping through the channels. Tough Tracks came on. He flipped to another channel, and I went, wow, lost it, and was inconsolable until they put Tough Tracks back on. And honestly, I haven't really looked back since. That's basically been it. It's been monster trucks ever since when it comes to that stuff. It's just random chance led to I love this, led to I want to go to shows, led to where we're at now today. So really kind of a happenstance sort of thing, but once I found what I loved, I stuck with it, and that's kind of a theme for me.
Why is my... Okay, there's something wrong. Hold on one second. Well, hey, Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, never mind. My computer is acting slow a little bit. Sorry about that, folks. I do apologize for that. But do you still remember your first show that you went to?
Yes.
And you know, the way that probably got the bug even more. But you still remember the first show you went to?
Oh yeah, I have pictures from it, and I'll send them to you. It was the Riverfront Coliseum for a USHRA show. Art Arfons was there with his puller. Black Stallion was there. Les Anderson was in Gravedigger. I do not remember who the foot driver was, but I think it was Bigfoot 4. A lot of cool stuff there. A lot of names that people will recognize and enjoy. But yeah, it was about a 3.5 hour, 4 hour show with all the pulling. But little 3-year-old me sat through it, and my dad ended up writing a letter to the TNT people like, hey, this other promoter was kind of like, they took a while and stuff, like, what's coming up? My son is a monster truck maniac. He needs to see more. I ended up attending Bowling Green in 1990 was another big one that I have pictures from that still is just like a core memory, seeing, you know, King Kong, Awesome Kong, all those great trucks. But I was a Gravedigger kid from the start. You know, that was the hot ticket. That was the one they pushed. And hey, they did their magic on me too. I was all about Gravedigger.
I was just thinking the foot driver could have been John Pyant. You know, if it was in the 1990s, it would have been Pyant around that time.
Yeah.
You know, what do you, because like I remember like the first time I got to see, you know, monster trucks on TV, and even when I got to be around one for the first time as a kid, I was just amazed. I'm like, what is this machine? Why is it so loud, obnoxious, and doing cool things? What were your reactions? Like, what were your thoughts as you were like, you know, going to your first shows and seeing it on TV? Like, was it something like, this is like, what is going on? What is this craziness?
Yeah, there was definitely some of that at the start where it was just like, oh my gosh, this is what I've always wanted. It was overwhelming in a good way. That's the way I would put it. You know, basically like you had that reaction. That was how it was for me. Definitely just, oh my gosh, I have to have more of this. I'm going to explore things deeply. You know, that's a sign of intelligence, is when you supposedly, when you explore things deeply. Well, I stuck with pretty much a couple things, and monster trucks are definitely one of them. Right then and there, I knew I was locked in. You know, had all the toys. I could tell you what city and state each driver was from. I would have little, you know, everybody, all of us of this generation had that experience, having little monster truck events on the floor of their playroom, and it just grew from there. It's stayed the same for me. I still get that feeling to this day. If you don't, I mean, I won't judge other people, but for me, if that feeling was ever gone and I wasn't impressed and amazed by what drivers and trucks can do now, you know, there's no reason to be there. I love it. It's that simple.
So I got all. Oh, I don't know why it's like that. Okay, I'm figuring this thing out. Okay, I have all three of us back here because all three of us have something in common, and Brad had it right behind him. We all came from playing the video game Monster Truck Madness 2, MTM2. I believe, what was the website we normally
MTM2.com, or it was technically cownap.com, or MTM2 Draggers.
Yep.
Draggers, yeah.
Yep.
We all came from different walks of life. We're all fans. But you know, I got hooked. I'll tell you how I got hooked on it. Was from a friend of mine who went to college with me, Jeremy Puglisi.
Pug. I love Pug, man.
We were a communication class, and before then I thought I was the only guy that liked monster trucks, and I was like, okay, well, there gotta be more people. And I saw him wearing a Black Stallion t-shirt, and I think my tism kicked in higher than he did. So all that stuff going on. But I remember going to see, then one time I went to a Pittsburgh Mellon Arena show for Monster Jam, and I see this guy taking photos, and it was him. And I was like, what are you doing? So this is now connecting between me and you, Robby, because he was taking photos. Well, now we're jumping because we got to tell the original story of how you create it, but he did for All Monster. He was taking photos for Pittsburgh. Now connecting to me and Brad this way, me and Brad for this podcast is because he was running MTM2 with Jordan
Holland and Kozak, Beaver Brigade Racing.
Nick
The
Kozak.
Canadian MTM2 players knew what's up, man. I knew a lot of those dudes. Yeah.
So we played. That's how I met Brad, and then like Josh Rhodes, met him. He was the Dennis Anderson, blah 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 blah. The Dale Earnhardt, blah 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 blah.
He's gonna try to kick you for that one when he sees you next.
He's not jealous at all. Cheech isn't jealous at all of XFA and all the freestyle championships that we won. None of that.
Yeah, until now he still tells the story on how me and him met in person, and we became best friends after that because he was doing photographs for All Monster, and he was doing stuff for the Zimmers, Shock Therapy and Excalibur, and I was with Kevin Payne, which is another MTM dude because Kevin and Josh's team were rivals. I kind of grew more in the video game world when ROR kicked in because I created all that like the SMRA, the Sim Monsters Racing Group, which I took that from Steve Perry, which that was going on. Yes, I am. Always will be the Dennis Anderson MTM2. You'll never forget it, Cheech.
Josh, I love you, buddy. Josh and I go way back too. Like it's really funny how all this has sort of come together with folks, and now we have guys running real life monster truck shows that ran the leagues in MTM2. Kevin is a good example. He was running his second show out in Dayton, and I got to talk to him about that. Like, dude, we've been practicing for this, and we didn't even know it for years. They got event directors. They need to plug them out and have it on the resume. Like, did you run an MTM2 league? Because if you did, you can go up to the top of the
Steve Perry owns his own group of
promotion.
Promotion. Like I said, that's all came around. So I met Josh at Indianapolis, and he was walking to the beginning of their stadium, and I have a Taylor done because I was helping with Kevin. And I look at Josh, I'm like, "Hey man, you need a ride?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "I bet you do," and I just took off.
He would do that to you too, though. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah. That's the reason why I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get him. But so let's talk about that because Kevin Payne, myself, you, even we could go back to Mr. Damian Bowers. He runs Sand Drag Racing. That's I always call that the big one of the big threes. I would never, he said. I don't know. I call shenanigans on that. Josh, he's a tech official. We have I still talk to Elmendorf. I mean, he works for UPS and stuff like that, but he comes to shows every single year when they're around the New York area and stuff like that.
Pecorelli
too. Yep.
Hart, Travis. He told me to say. He said.
He texted me it, and we'll just.
Okay.
You too, Travis.
Already.
Another one you can't forget about. Kind of one of the big names was Cody Saucier.
Yeah, he drove a truck called Witch Doctor in my league. It was fun.
He made a couple of tracks, Mountain Stadium. When we've had him on a few times, we talked to him about that, and that it's just so cool to see
Dalton Weiner.
Yeah, Dalton Widener. It's so cool to see all of us who started in. Oh, look, you got a chicken.
Chicken.
You can't forget about chicken.
Yep.
Wait. Hold on, Hunt. It's like, I'm chopped liver, or are you chopped chicken?
Ah.
Ooh.
but it's so cool to see
your fried chicken.
Wow.
It's so cool. It's so cool to see how many people that, we used to just goof around on TeamSpeak and AIM, kick Damien out of a TeamSpeak chat over 200 times, just all the shenanigans we had. And look at us where we are now. you know,
Dude, we
cheats
were
as a
bunch of
driver.
gremlins, man.
And it's so cool. And like whenever we see each other in public, it's like, hey, what's going on? You know, it's a brotherhood that we'll always have, you know, no matter what part of the industry we're in.
I remember.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I remember. See,
but I was about to say, if you guys remember, love you too, chicken. Remember when we had the discussion board, not mayhem, but
MTM2 BBS.
yes, and then like you or Kevin Payne or someone saying, hey, meeting at Lucas Oil Stadium or Paul Brown Stadium. I want to get whoever's going to be at the show, meet up at this point of the pit party, and we'll just go and hang out and BS or whatever, take a group picture, and then, you know, distribute different ways and stuff like that. You know, I remember doing a few of those at Indy.
I remember always seeing the pictures and all the shenanigans afterwards and being jealous of you guys.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I got my track crew gig too, was through MTM2, because I think it was Pecorelli or Kevin Payne posted saying I need Mike Austin is another one.
Yep.
I forgot about him. But one of them was he put, hey, we need 2 guys to help out, if willing, to be a track crew member for the 2011 Syracuse Carrier Dome show. And I was like, yeah, shoot, I'll do it. I have family there. I can go visit family and do the show. And that's how I got, how I got into the world of, monster trucks. This is my last question for you, Robby, before we take our first commercial and then go from there. So you got your hands a little bit dirty at one point in your life crewing on monster trucks.
Mm-hmm.
With you learning the other side of the coin, I'm assuming the appreciation is a lot larger. But what did you take from there? What did you learn from that aspect of a crew guy showing of it compared to being a monster truck analyst or a fan in itself?
You can say nerd. It's okay. But yeah, no, I think you used the right word. Exactly. See, it's a term of endearment for me. If you're a nerd about something, you want to explore it and you love it. And that's all I care about. I think you can kind of take some of this stuff and divide it up into eras, if you will. But when it comes to any of that sort of stuff, back then, the internet and the technology and everything was a lot different, you know, because there was still a good, healthy fear and respect of, and kind of not an understanding as much of what a website guy does, or what, you know, why is this guy sticking a camera in my face when I'm trying to change a corner, kind of thing. So it's different. It was different then than it is now. I was lucky enough to get on with Mark Schrader and Devastator. So I got to travel with him and he saw the value in me. So I came out to a show and there was literally nobody at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway at the time. Little young me traveled out for my first trip. There's nobody to talk to in the pit party because I was the only person there almost. There was like 7 people at this pit party. They didn't come back. I don't know why. But I talked to Mark for about 30 minutes at a pit party, and then he remembered me when I called him up at his house saying, I want to go do a day with Devastator for allmonster.com. He took me out and then took me in. And really, I got to see, you know, the real side of things, the things that I thought it might be this way, but I wasn't really sure. When you get behind that curtain, if you will, it is a lot different, and it is to be respected, I think. The big thing is, if you're in somewhere like that, the first thing you do is have a good look around and make sure that you're in the right place. You're not in anybody's way. That's the first thing you do every time. If you guys got wrenches in their hands or there's a truck up on a jack, like, you got to be able to do that. So I was lucky enough to have a great teacher in Mark Schrader. You guys had him on the podcast. And by the way, you guys are great listening. When I'm going up and down the road to shows, I have binged a lot of this stuff. So people need to pay attention, man. It's really cool that you get into all the sides of somebody's personality and not just the monster trucks. So for me, long story short, it was Mark Schrader. And then I actually got with Carl Van Horn and did some stuff for him. It was really cool to be able to have that experience. And those two are people that I owe a great deal to. And then that led into Carl putting a good word in for me when they needed crew, just like you were talking about with the track crew thing. And once that time came, I was able to crew for first quarter with Gravedigger and Del Scorcho. And between then and now, I've done it for various other teams. If you had to throw me into somewhere, I'd be a third guy at best right now. You have to keep that knowledge up and you have to keep progressing. And, unfortunately for me, I was too young, too inexperienced, too mature. I did learn a lot. It still stuck with me and I still have that respect. And it did change the way when I came back to doing more of the website stuff and now social media, I didn't lose that respect. And I think a lot of teams do respect that because they don't have to tell me how things work. I already kind of know. And if I don't know, I'm not afraid to ask because I know what I'm going to be able to do for them. And that's give them the perspective of both a nerd and a guy that has been on the ground floor of some of the stuff when parts and cuss words are flying everywhere and you got to get it done.
All right, so I'm going to throw in one commercial here, and then we're going to get in depth and talk about the beginnings of allmonster.com. Here we go. Once again, thank you to what's that guy again? He only shows up once a year and helps us out.
Colby
I forget
Marshall.
his name.
Doug?
Colby
Joe?
Marshall,
Bob?
that guy.
I
Bob,
kind of want to see Colby in a Santa suit now.
the blog? The blog?
just the blog.
The blog? Thank you, the blog. No, Colby Marshall and MTRC for all he does. Josh is a member of that. I do it. All the cool stuff going on there here. Before we do the all monster questions here, Steve Perry was asking, here's a hard-hitting question. Will he hit the bus?
Yes, I will absolutely hit the bus. You should always hit the bus. If you're at a versus Monster Truck show and you don't hit the bus, that should be considered a crime. And you should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Okay, and I'll ask this, and all of us old MTM2 nerds will get this. Will CK hit a table?
He'll never hit the no.
I still love. I want to find that video again because that video was hilarious.
Every time I hear "Learning to Fly" it was "Monkey Wrench" by the Foo Fighters was his freestyle song. That was awesome.
I have to say this. I think when he hit that table, something happened because now he has like a Mohawk, Star Wars, Toy Story type thing going on. I'm like, you do you, boo boo, but whoa.
Chris was a good guy. He took really good pictures, especially for the time when it was a little harder to operate a digital camera and stuff too. He had some really cool stuff from Indy, and he was always nice. And yes,
Josh
was there
because you took video of that. Also, get out of here, Zach. Just get out of here.
Don't say it. See, gremlins. I told you we were all gremlins, and now this behavior is coming back. This is reminding me of the chat before an MTM2 league.
So getting back on topic, All Monster, has been around for quite a while. One of the top monster truck websites. You and the Monster Blog kind of took the torch from a lot of the websites in the 90s. Forget the names of them right at the moment right now.
Truck World and Monster Zone were the two big ones for sure. Cheech called out before, they were good. Yeah.
So you guys and the Monster Blog kind of took over that kind of spot, especially in the modern 2000s and stuff. Ed Horman. Talk about how you guys kind of came up with the idea of creating All Monster.
So there's one site in between that I would say is kind of in between on the timeline between the Truck Worlds and the Monster Zones, and then All Monster, and that's Monster Style. That's where Kyle Doyle got his start. Sean Hancock was the guy that made that. And that's actually where I got my start into doing stuff. I shot a few shows for Sean Hancock and Monster Style, and he gave me an opportunity to, cover some shows for him. I never got access through him or anything like that, but it was my start of being able to say, here I am, here's my stuff. For a gift, my father got me a digital camera, an early one. And man, if I showed you my first photos, dude, but like, we all learn and we grow, right? I did some stuff for Sean for a little while. I had a few differences, but nothing bad with him. I just wanted to do a site of my own, a little bit different way. And man, when he was doing that stuff, if it was on Monster Style, everybody in the industry saw it. And I thought that was so cool. At the same time, I wanted to take kind of my background with journalism and with writing and stuff like that, especially, and sort of put my own spin on it and do what I always thought people should do, which is just represent teams and do a good job for them professionally. In a professional manner was the important part. It's not just gossip and drama, because anybody can do that. No offense to anybody that kind of focuses on that, but I try to, and always have tried to sort, a place out being on Monster that's for the professional, for the industry folks to actually be able to take a look at it and enjoy and not get frustrated by it. Because in the early days, in the old days, it wasn't as direct and it wasn't as immediate as it is now. You can post something up on your website after the weekend. You can get back to the hotel, chill, post your photos the next day. Now it's, you've got to go. You got to get it done. You got to get out there and be timely. Well, I used to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, FTP and all my photos up the night of a show, because I wanted to be the first one to get the coverage out and do a good job at it. So, ultimately it was, okay, I'm going to start this thing. I'm going to look it up. I was self-taught. I took a web design course, as Brad was saying, he's going to take the graphics stuff. That's great, man, to have a foundation, because I was all self-taught and just trying to learn stuff. I think I downloaded Microsoft Front Page off of LimeWire, back in the day. Like, I just wanted to do it. So I figured out a way, and right there with me at the start, the MTM2 people real quickly were like, hey, we want to do this too. I think Dustin and I, man, it was only like a couple of days or something. And Dustin was like, well, I'm going to go to some shows. I wouldn't mind starting to do that. I'm like, dude, come on, you're hired, So it was me and Dustin, and then Josh is there. And there's so many people that I could thank. And really, it's just a reflection of that people in the industry wanted to do this and help support it. I cannot say how thankful I am for that. It's been since 2004. The special events show in Indianapolis was when it launched. Stayed up till 3 a.m. Again, pumping stuff out, getting it ready. Hey, the site's going to launch. We're going to cover it. We did interviews with Alan Pizzo, Mike Botters, all these people at the show. Trey Myers was immediately great there. I'm just very lucky, extremely grateful for all the people that have either shot, helped, interviewed, teams, promoters, just everybody were tremendous in supporting it, because I think they saw, sort of my vision for what I wanted the site to be. And that was just, again, it's not gossip, it's not drama, it's not negativity, it's not rumors. It's just, here's a good place for quality media from monster trucks and some interviews and stuff like that. That was the idea, and it still is to this day.
So that's another thing. You talked a little bit about like how the MTM2 community helped out, Dustin Hart, Josh Rhodes, stuff like that. But pretty much your whole crew is from that MTM2 era. Yep. And the cool thing is you started out in 2004, mm-hmm. but the same foundation group guys still do that stuff today for you. The loyalty that they have for the website, pretty much at one point in time, all of us really got our news and information from your crew and the All Monster, knowing about, okay, well, you guys already knew when John Zimmer is going to be at Quincy, Illinois, or there's supposed to be a new truck coming out, stuff, stuff like that. And then, you may also go, okay, you heard this rumor. Well, you're one of the first guys to nip down the butt saying, that's not true. That's not true at all. And try to stop that forest fire throughout our gaming community from spreading, or, stuff like that. But you guys also kept your guys' peephole shut back then too. So I got you got your loyalty. So I guess this would be a two-part question for you. You got your loyal. How did you feel comfortable in having these guys be a part of you in the website? But also, you guys are an informative team, and you have seen it both sides, where as soon as someone has information about something that's really exciting, it's going to open up like a can of baked beans, and everyone will know it, and then they're going to get a message going, what did you say it? I'm going to release this information in this truck, a month from now. To having, for you guys, for being that way, gaining the driver's trust, for trusting them, knowing that you ain't going to open your mouth about anything, and go from there. So sorry, that's a lot of information there, but I guess it's a two-parter for you. Is how so? Gosh darn, I'm sorry, Robby.
You're okay.
For instance, okay, so you have Dustin Hart, okay, and you have that. What about some Joe Blow kid from that races with us wants to do it also? Like how do you filter someone that be like that? Because you also have to gain a lot of trust because they're representing your product. So
Yeah.
Go from there. Trusting the person in general. That
definitely. You're good, man. For the two parts, the first part, you're absolutely right. It's about trust. I wanted more than anything, and still do to this day, if a team or a driver, crew member, whoever it is, puts their trust in me, I am not going to screw that up. And I will make calls to people. I will verify. I will make sure that this is right so that it goes out. And yes, in some senses, I guess that's self-serving, but really it's what I wanted to see out of a website or a company is you don't have to do what some of the big media companies do nowadays and just spread information or rumors or whatever. I still believe in quality, and I still believe in that. So I think that's building that reputation just took a little while, and it got to where, okay, I'm doing Carl Van Horn's website. Okay, so if I go to a show and Carl's there, maybe he introduces me to somebody and they go, oh, you do their site. So there's a little bit of a familiarity there before, even if I've not met somebody, it's kind of the site is a representation of us, like you said. So with that in mind, yeah, I don't want to embarrass Travis or make him feel bad. This is actually just a good example. I didn't know Travis all that well, but we did a show together in Minneapolis, and he expressed a desire to want to learn a little bit more about shooting. Well, I happen to have 2 digital cameras. Here you go, Travis. You can have this camera. You can sit next to me. We're going to do this show. He was there with a local RC club. It was Minneapolis in I don't know, 08 or 09, a while ago. And, do stuff like that. Just give them a shot, because when I was going to Mark Schrader's house earlier and in the story and talking about that stuff, he gave me a shot. So I try to never forget that. It's important to give people a chance and to let them try to do this. I just have this platform. The people's talent and everything else is what it is. Dustin will smoke anybody any day when it comes to media, photography. I laid my head, we're not worthy kind of thing. I am not the best at everything. It's just a matter of, if I have this platform, I want to give people a chance to do stuff. And a lot of those relationships and friendships were pre-existing to All Monster, like you said, with the MTM2 stuff. We all spent hours together on AOL Instant Messenger and all that stuff, just, getting to know each other. So when it came time for the site stuff, a lot of that was just natural. And we all liked monster trucks. I can remember going to an Indianapolis show and not taking very many pictures at the pit party because I was sitting there BSing with all my friends that I finally got to see from MTM2. I wanted to bring that kind of aspect in a good way over All Monster, but up the professionalism a little bit because, like I said, on MTM2, we were gremlins. So we want to make sure we do a good job when it comes to you're around professionals that are, doing real world things with these trucks. At the time, again, the virtual stuff was more looked down on, I think, than it is today. And that's okay. People were just not trusting right away. But once a few people cross over, hell, now you have guys that John Zimmer Jr. is a great example, came fully from the digital world. And there's a lot of stuff that Brad's designed a truck or 2 or 7 now that have been, in real life. And it's just amazing to see how things have developed when it comes to the second piece and really the, people representing all Monster. I only really cared that they did their best, try to cover the show. It would be very rare if somebody gave me something and I didn't post it or only post a few things. There's been times where I got a gallery, everybody messes up at a show and doesn't have the right exposure or settings or whatever. But I would still always, if they went to a show, even if it was just a few pictures, I would always try to put their stuff up because it's so cool for them, especially if it's their first time. And my first photos that I gave to Sean Hancock at Monster Style were doggy doo-doo, dude. They were so bad, but he still put me on and gave me that chance. So I always try to do that and remember that. And then, again, it's about the help of people that I can't name them all, but Ed, Josh, Travis, all these people popped in, made me feel like $1 million. They're always they've always been down. They've always been great folks. And, I'm really grateful for them. It's that simple. They're just great people. And I've been around the world, a lot of friends and stuff like that. But the people that are Monster Truck nerds, like we just have this connection. It's just, I can't believe it's been this long and we're still doing this. It's great. I'm just very thankful for it.
Well, and I'll brag on you because you run the Instagram, right? I'm making sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Robby has helped me out a couple of times. If I'm doing like a replication of a design, like let's say Executioner, I would message Robby. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for pictures because knowing how many pictures that this man has, he has saved my ass a couple of times on replicate certain schemes or from different angles, and just like the knowledge you have. And also people don't remember you guys and Roller with Monster Truck Radio were two kind of the first Monster Truck podcasts out there. I completely forgot that you guys, I went back on your website. Your first technical episode was September 2nd, 2011.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Dustin were out there. Well, no, actually so we had two separate ones. We had Beyond the Lens, and that was Jeremy was actually in some of that. We used to call him the radio superstar because he is. And we had Josh was on some of them, and it was me and Ed too. Ed was a big driving force behind the podcast stuff. He would edit all of those episodes as far as the audio and stuff, and just did a great job. I was just the dumb, quote unquote talent that would talk about the shows and go to the shows and has a little, experience to talk about there. But he did a lot of that stuff and did a great job. Again, just grateful for people having kind of aces in their places, making it look good.
And like Brad said, you guys are now getting the ball rolling again with Travis helping out. You guys are back to running another podcast, being informative and also leading the way of maybe, speaking your mind on what you guys like and not like and topics that in the Monster Truck world that needs to be speaking of. It's not like you're rattling some bee's nest. You're talking about something that would be a everyday topic for people BSing in monster trucks in general, talk about the world finals or talk about stuff like this and that, which is, pretty awesome in general, about, because I listen to your stuff also. And there's a new one out. I'll try to listen to that too on the road and go there. There's different avenues. Let's just say there's multiple wrestling podcasts. They're not, you can go turn in the Chris Jericho. You can go Steve Austin, Undertaker, CVV. And they do it, and there's always areas to do stuff. And we always have different ranges. There's probably the Do It Boys do their thing. There's different podcast streams and stuff like that. But for me, it's very entertaining to listen to you guys too. Because you guys also do your interviews with other drivers, but you also speak a little bit of your mind on news and information of the monster truck world too, which for me, I always followed anyway to find out who won this. If I don't have to go to monsterjam.com or Truck World, I'll be like, okay, I know Ed's at St. Louis. I'll just wait until Ed posts something on All Monster, and before you know it, it's there. Or Josh at Quincy or Champaign type deal. So I really don't have a question. It's just a cool statement that you guys also entered, thank you for that also. But you guys are, still continuing on. Now my question is this. Kind of with the social media, and everything, it kind of now is veering towards that. If you want to be a Monster Jam truck driver, you got to have, it's not anymore how talented you are, it's how many people follow you, how much following you have. Sponsors look at that. We're starting to figure that out with the Ram trucks, that you have to promote the trucks in general, and Hotsy's the same way, that promotion and media is such a key aspect now with being involved and being relevant, let's just say, in the monster truck world. And with that too, I believe that with you and All Monster, that kind of gave you like that little speed thing on a Hot Wheels track where the wheels go, and then you have a new avenue, let's just say, because there's a lot of groups that just couldn't keep on pedaling and they basically sunk. But you found that avenue with what you knew outside of monster trucks, like you said, journalism and all that stuff that was going on there. You took that more piece of that cake over to All Monster, because now you're all your social, you like you said before, like you were excited of uploading photos at 3 a.m. to be the first one. Now you got to upload something that just happened. Like Weston Anderson at Dayton, like doing that stuff within 5 minutes. I already saw you already popped it up on All Monster of what he did one racing. With while Mark Hall's doing his interview, you already posted Weston already rolled over and Mark already crossed the finish line already. For that, with today's world and the platform now, your avenue got to be far and wide now for All Monster.
Yeah, we were kind of training ourselves with the websites for what it is now. It used to be that the websites, like I said, there was you could put a day or so delay on whatever for websites. Now it's immediate, like you said. And it's a lot of the same stuff. It's just taken from a bigger package to a smaller package is the way that I look at it. You got to be more immediate, but you can still do quality. You can still write well, and you can still represent a team really well. So to me, like you said, that's an avenue. That's something that, okay, I can sink my teeth into this and I can still be useful. My big thing is truly, and it sounds weird, it sounds cheesy, but it is true. If my favorite thing to have happen at a show or outside of it when it comes to monster trucks is for a driver, crew, somebody in the industry to say, thank you, that really was helpful. And I love being helpful. If I can be helpful, then count me in. I'm going to learn whatever it is to take to be helpful, whether it's actually being behind the wrenches or whether it's behind a computer screen or a phone. It doesn't matter. These people need help, and I can provide a service that gives them help, not unlike Brad with the graphics and things like that. I don't see John Zimmer sitting down at Photoshop and busting out a wrap design. That's something that's a special skill that, people like Brad can do. At the same time, maybe Andy Slifko isn't going to write an eloquent statement on his weekend in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. So I need to be able to be that guy to step up for him and help him out. If I can do that, then that's great. And that's why I gravitated towards, okay, let's bring the social media. And, Travis really pushed me to get back into doing the podcast and stuff like that. He was right. And, that sort of stuff you're just kind of evolving with the times, but I didn't want to lose. It's really important to me to have a standard of kind of quality and things like that, where you're still getting what we've built up as far as, our little piece of the pie, our little name within the industry. It's just represented on a different platform now.
Well, another thing that you guys do with All Monsters, you guys host teams for the websites. I know that you guys do the Samson team, Patrick Enterprises. What other teams? Send It Motorsports. What other teams have you guys done websites or currently are doing websites for right now?
Stone Crusher, right?
What's that?
You guys still do stuff with Stone Crusher, right?
I'm not sure currently. Dustin did their site back in the day. We've done a lot more. It's a lot more that I run team social media and stuff like that. You guys had Kylie Ken on, and she mentioned that, I run the social media accounts for like Frostbite, Haymaker, Send It Motorsports, and that sort of stuff. We do Patrick and Samson as the main one now. There's one coming that I can't say yet. And then, Yeah, the Send It one, they actually run them on their own. That's been another thing to your prior question. Now it's easier for folks to make websites too. So I'm not gonna, in good conscience, charge them what I would normally charge them for a website that they can build on their own. I ask when people come to me for a website or whoever, what do you want on it? And if it's something simple, I'm not gonna be that guy that's just looking to make a quick buck. It's about helping them out. So as long as it's viable for me, I can still do it. But really, a lot of these teams now can do sites on their own and should. But the social part, that's where social media now is websites. Then that's the way I would put it. So do stuff currently for Samson and Patrick, and then All Monster for sites, and then I'm helping a couple other teams out. And then the social media piece is several teams. Some we can't talk about yet, I don't think. And then right now is Patrick's, Samson, Shane Plato with Skull Crusher Monster Truck, and then the Send It folks as well. And am helping a little bit with a couple people's YouTube channels and stuff like that as well.
I do enjoy the old school Samson stuff that you brought out.
Man, the footage that they have. Whoo. I will say this. About that piece, just to give the old school fans that I respect and love a little something. They gave me a hard drive that was really large, and I've been working my way through it. But there's one thing that I've been avoiding that's going to be a huge project, but over my dead body, it will eventually come out. And I think people are going to be really excited about it. I talked to you and Dayton about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be something that I hope gets to be seen through, and everybody will really enjoy if you're a Monster Truck fan, period. Old school, new school, anything. So lots of exciting stuff, man. It's really cool. And yeah, I would say right now the main thing is it's social media and YouTube is what teams are looking for and what they want to see, what they need the most help with. So happy to do it. I love it.
So we're going to throw our last commercial, Brad, and then we're going to do a get together on this idea that I have. And I think it'll be pretty fun because we may have some people also commenting on this. So we'll throw our last commercial and we'll get back to you.
And he made it back in time. Maybe a second over, but he made it back.
She's just like midair bouncing. You got to freeze that one when on the playback, man.
But hey, we want to thank Nick Davis and Back Channel Productions. They're also celebrating their 10th year anniversary. Nick's been posting a lot of cool mud racing that he always does on there. So go check out Back Channel Productions. Great again, Nick Davis, great guy, and hopefully, eventually, at some point, that Thunder Nationals documentary will be unleashed.
Also, one more. OSMT, they're doing 50 years of 50 big days of Bigfoot. Their bottom dead center shows, and also they're finding old school footage too. It's great for the old school way of life. There's so much information. We have a volcano of Monster Truck nostalgia. Just one day it's gonna be like Mount St. Helen, and it's going. And
somebody got into the Bigfoot vault. Yeah, Kyle is doing a wonderful job with all that stuff. I was just listening to his interview with Eric Stern too. Really, for anybody looking to get into media and stuff, that one's a tremendous one. And yeah, between you two, I'm set when I go down the road to shows, man.
Oh, thank you very much. We're going to do a cool thing here, and I'm going to not take the credit for this idea, but I also listened to another podcast, more of a sports type deal with Julian Edelman. And they do like the games with titles. Well, this time they did a group of their top 5 jerseys, and they pick 6 to be their bench warmer. Well, I twisted this a little bit for us guys, and I have the top 6 monster truck themes, art themes, paint jobs, stuff like that, and then 1 honorable mention. And so
I thought it was
I
top
thought
5.
no, top 6. I put top
I'll
6
give you
on
one of
that.
mine. It's cool. I did some extras because I thought there'd be some overlap.
Yeah, I said top 6 there, Brad.
Okay. One more.
We do the top 17 if you want, for all I care. It's hard to get it down to 6.
You have to pick your top 6 best monster truck themes on the chat. But anyway, so the original site did top 6, but they used a bench warmer. So they did, top 5. They did 6 technically, but we're gonna do technically 7. But I just thought, the top 6 pretty much do something differently. So I got mine. I'm a little bit too overboard, but I got my first ones over. But we'll go one at a time. Just have some fun and talk about why you guys think about it, and then we have, just in general. So, Brad, I guess we'll go with you, then Robby, then me. So we'll go with that, and then people in the chat, if you're on, put your 2 cents worth, and then we can bring you up if you guys have good pointers and stuff like that, and go from there. So,
all right. So I have pictures. I uploaded pictures. I'm uploading my one last one.
I wish I
so.
had a picture.
I'll go from, I don't have an honorable. I didn't think about it. But number 6, the Dodge Dakota Barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how unique this was because, this was before we saw, the Dodge body that everybody loves. But I love mini trucks. I love S10s, Rangers. I just always thought that this was such a unique looking truck. Just the body style, it was different. It's something that we hadn't really seen. Dodge promoting their, more light duty truck. This was, basically right after he got the Dodge sponsorship, I believe. So just always looked cool to me.
Yeah, there was something about, I believe he debuted it like the new style body or whatever. There was a switch around the Indianapolis RCA Dome show. That used to be the home state show for me every year. And I remember he showed up with that and it was like, oh my gosh. I want to clarify something too, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Cheech texted me schemes. Now you're just saying strictly for the scheme or the body? Because there's always criteria for this stuff.
No. Like the paint scheme in general. Doesn't matter if it's the body or anything like that. It's just the paint scheme.
And for me with the paint scheme, I love simplicity.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge NHRA guy, and a lot of those schemes back in the day, some were well, but some were just clean. This one was always clean to me.
Yeah. Love it.
My number 5.
Oh no,
Sobe.
So next one will be Robby. We're going one at a time.
Okay. So Robby, your turn.
Now I'm gonna pick Sobe out of spite. No, I didn't even have that on the list. I'm sorry. That's cool. No. The first one that came to mind for me was probably what is still my favorite, the World Finals 5 edition of Blacksmith, with the full, all the flames and embers and everything going up and down at Pablo. Always a menace there at the World Finals in the early years, and I really love that scheme for whatever reason. Again, it wasn't that it was super complicated or just somebody airbrushed it for 3 years or something like that, but I just love the colors, love the scheme, super clean. Really liked it a lot.
Yeah, the Blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, BJ saying Cheech making rules. Yeah, I do. Seems like in life in general.
That's the one.
Yep. Oh, that looks mean.
Yeah, dude.
I love that one.
It just fit the name of the truck, and I mean, you're telling me that couldn't sell some cool merch? You're telling me that couldn't be something somewhere? Love it.
All right, Cheech, your turn, sir.
So for me, they just announced the winner of it in OSMT, but for me is the 1984 to 88 Virginia Giant.
Oh yeah.
That's just that paint job, just how it is in general. It's just clean. The chrome is just clean. I just loved it. And it was, and then with the 429 underneath the hood, I just thought it was mean. It just was the stance was mean. it was a very, very clean looking truck. It was probably one of the only trucks that I can think of that you can throw a hot dog on it, grab the hot dog and eat it and won't die. So that was my choice of a theme for my first theme. So yeah.
Didn't hear a lot of complaints about that one winning. Put it that way. That was a great choice.
My next one, like I said before, is Sobe. I loved the look of this scheme. You know, I loved the Sobe beverages when I was a kid. You know, I just love the bright color. It's an S10. I love S10s. You know, a little bit because, you know, Sobe had the sponsorship with Suzuki and Supercross. So, you know, they obviously brought it into Monster Jam. This is a picture that was at Montreal, I believe. Old Dennis Taft photo. Dennis Taft. If you don't know the joke, everybody, if you downloaded a Dennis Taft truck in MTM2, you press the horn, it would just be Dennis Taft.
Dude, I remember shouting as loud as I could because my mic would never pick up. I wanted to have a custom sound on my truck, but it took up too much space.
But it's just the color scheme, the logo placement, it's just everything on this truck. And it's an extended cab. And I think extended cabs look better than single cabs. But that's the reason why I love this truck in particular.
B and Kathy were great to be around too. I was there like, you know, the year before. They were with Suzuki and they traveled a lot with us and stuff. I actually prepped Kathy's Suzuki and Chucky's Monster Mutt for World Final 7. So they were always good folks to be around. They were always respectful of the crew.
All right, Robby, your next one.
Wildfoot, man. You don't say Wildfoot. I don't know why you guys didn't say Wildfoot. I gave you an extra round and everything because that was the first thing that really came to mind besides Blacksmith. Wildfoot is like, you could do, yeah, exactly. Honestly, it's hard to beat that scheme for me. It is really hard for that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that is good.
It's tremendous, man. I love
that. Was a really nice scheme truck. Yeah, and then the story behind it, how it was, you know, purple and, you know, kind of like, you know, either or. I think that, yeah, you're right. Wildfoot, and the thing is, it was a short-lived paint scheme. You know, it could have, you know, they went from that to the Bigfoot Cruiser, and that, I think that's what made the mystique of the Wildfoot truck, is because of, you know, the short-lived, you know, way of life. And then also during first quarter, it was technically Bigfoot for a while, and then I don't know, then it did Wildfoot for the Penda and stuff like that, which was cool, you know.
Me was mind blown, absolutely mind blown at seeing Bigfoot on the side of it on There Goes a Monster Truck, you know, at when they shot at the Delta Center, to your point. Yeah. They had Bigfoot on the side. I was like, that's not Bigfoot, that's Wildfoot. What are they doing? Yeah, that was a tremendous scheme, man. And Andy made it that much better. If you didn't see Lima, Ohio, 1993, then you're living under a rock if you're a monster truck guy, man. Wildfoot lived up to the name every time, and Andy Brass is on my Mount Rushmore of monster truck racers, that's for sure.
That's still my number one interview that I want to do at some point on here is Andy Brass.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Cheech, your next one. I think he might have died.
Either that or he's staring into my soul. I don't know which one, man. I think that just means you get an extra pick, right?
I don't know. Did he die? Did Frontier finally screw him over again?
We even get Sweater out here. I'm not too sure. It looks like he's just frozen. I don't have anything from him yet.
Let me quickly text him, but then I'll go to my next one. Give me a second. Sorry about technical issues. Oh, he left. He'll probably come back on.
That just means his internet screwed him out of the next pick. You get the next one, man.
All right. So my next one, let me find my list here, is going to be Black Stallion 2000.
Oh, that's a good one, man. Yeah. That specific one looks really extra good with the KC lights and stuff. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I always loved the look of this truck growing up. It was super unique. You know, it was basic, but like, I loved it as a graphic designer now. I love the grid style because I love that style artwork. it's just it's badass looking. Yeah, his internet died.
Yeah, he was there for my first weekend of shooting on the digital camera, and I think by that point he might have gotten to the one that had the orange and yellow gradient at the end of it. But yeah, I remember this scheme and probably always will. He was the first rollover I saw too in person, so that was cool.
And with this look, with the Lund accessories, on it, the KC lights, just this truck always looked good in my opinion. You can never go wrong with good old Black Stallion 2000.
Yeah, if you want to get Mike Botters talking, ask him about Gravedigger and beating Gravedigger. He talked to me for a long time. You get him fired up, man. He's awesome. Love that truck, man. Everything it stood for.
All right, so since Cheech isn't back yet, he's working his way back. Robby, you have next pick.
I got an easy one for you. Wild Hair, but specifically the Wild Hair Chrome Illusion like DuPont deal that Jason Whitty had. I loved that scheme. And it is kind of a cheap one, but it was front of mind because that's the next interview that's going to be coming out on the Monster Truck podcast for All Monster.
The Chrome Illusion truck just looked so cool. And, being around that chassis now as Stomper, knowing that, Jason had like a legit drag racing trans brake in that truck just to do wheelies.
Yes.
Is badass.
He goes into some of the, I won't spoil too much, but he goes into some of the technical things that he was doing behind the scenes, how they had to kind of make Marvin Smith's chassis work. Then they moved over and built the new one, and he has pictures of that. It's a whole story, but Jason's doing well for himself. For those that are Wild Hair fans and everything, it's going to be a good interview, and I'm really excited about it. But yeah, far and away, man. I mean, I loved shooting that truck because it was a different color every time, not unlike the Bigfoot Chrome Illusion back in the day. But yeah, Jason always did something cool, and you never knew what color the truck was going to be when you shot it. It was really neat.
Well, Cheech is still trying to make his way back in. Might as well go to my next one. And this one's kind of out of left field. This one has sentimental. It was one of the first trucks I ever seen as a kid. I remember my dad, frantically calling my mom on his old ass cell phone saying, "There's Monster." It is none other than the Freedom Racing Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels truck.
Oh man, I thought you were going to say Jurassic Attack. That is cool.
No.
Yeah.
I remember this one at a dealership. Cheech is back. I remember.
Sorry about that. I think my internet went out on my phone.
Blame Frontier.
Frontier.
But I remember seeing this truck at the local Ford dealership downtown Grand Prairie here, and just like, because again, first truck I had ever seen in my life, and just being in awe of it, and just I always thought it looked clean, unique body style, unique Ford Ranger for the time being, just a classic truck, and that same weekend went to one of my very first shows.
Love that, dude. Yeah.
I love this. I love the fact that it's got the simulated hubcaps on it. Just a sick looking truck. Cheech, I'll bring up your pictures. You have basically 2, and then Robby will get his. How many did we do without Cheech? 2 or 3? This is number 3 for me.
This will be my 4th one.
Now, yeah, okay. So I'm assuming that you did the Green Ghost Gravedigger.
Not yet.
Oh shoot. Well, anyway, I made Buster Bubble, but mine is just Gravedigger in general.
Dude.
Well, you're just doing Green Ghost, but I'm just saying mine. You have to pick a different one. My bad.
I picked Gravedigger in general too. You beat me to it. You came back. Your internet allowed you to do that.
And I picked Green Ghost.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying in general, Gravedigger. Outside of, I personally think that the 97 year, like this one, is just a significant change. The Green Ghost was there for like maybe 1 year on 20, and then maybe a couple years afterwards on 14 and random Gravediggers. It wasn't a popular scheme. For me, I believe Gravedigger has been the same. I feel like the Gravedigger paint scheme is like, let's say, the Michigan Wolverines or Ohio State Buckeyes, the Green Bay Packers. It just stays the same throughout time. It only had really one dramatic change, and that was in 1997 when it went lettering. You guys there?
Yeah, I'm here.
lettering, crossways instead of stacking each other. They added the purple, and I just think that for that time or the way it is for being such a popular truck, it hasn't really changed extremely paint scheme wise. I mean, yeah, a couple tombstones here and there, maybe a little bit of accents, a little bit stuff, but the basic theme of that truck is still the same. And that's why I picked about the Gravedigger as my second choice, because of it's still the same for so many years.
All right. And then your third choice.
My third choice. Now, I guess I saw in your picture there, it's the same. Well, not that one. It's the same chassis, but different scheme. And my third choice is the 20th anniversary Black Stallion paint scheme from 03. 03 until he built his truck in 07. The new one. I just thought that was that was much. It's a close first outside of Black Stallion 2000 with the racer back on it and the lights, the racer back and the KC lights. I thought that was good. But this one was just ahead of that for me, and that would have been the 20th anniversary scheme for Black Stallion.
All
That's
right.
really funny. That's
All
what
right.
that's what he picked. He
Robby,
picked the first
what
one.
is your fourth?
My fourth was Gravedigger, so
Okay.
it's a good thing I had backups. We're gonna go straight to Avenger World Finals 11. I had it for the same reasons too, Cheech. I'm like, this is a paint scheme that stayed, relatively the same forever. Shouts to Fred Buman, and yeah, once you nail it, man, that's got to be the dream for like Brad as a graphic designer to have something that has that kind of staying power in the industry. Like that would be tremendous, man. If I was Fred, R.I.P. Fred, of course, and then yeah. Staying power on Digger. For me, it was Avenger World Finals 11 edition. And by the way, I see that World Finals 11 DVD. I maintain that is my favorite and the best World Finals of all time.
And it's autographed.
Woo! Love it.
So, yeah. but why that Avenger in particular?
I just like those colors, man. It's just Jim. Honestly, I really like almost every scheme that he's put out. And I think more than anything that he puts the effort into making special experiences for fans like that. They always know it's Avenger because of the body style. It's got the same general graphics, but the colors and the themes and the things like that. He's always made just that extra effort for the fans to give them an appreciation and a, thanks. And like, that's the biggest thing for me, more than just, oh, it was this scheme, it was that scheme, it was this year. For me and for him, he rocked it at that show. Did a really good job, and I just specifically liked those colors. I had to pick one, otherwise I'd just pick all of Avengers stuff because, man, rarely ever is there a miss from that camp.
All right, Cheech, what is your fourth?
My fourth is actually going to, for me, it's a little bit of the Hall Brothers thing, and that would have been the 06 to 09 Ammunition, the bomb. Personally, was my favorite, but that got kind of topped. But for this one, Jeremy drove this quite often. It just, if you look at the details of this scheme, you take a look at it and you're like, this thing's freaking cool. Yeah, you have the ram exploding, but you don't, pay attention to the giant wick that's through the name Ammunition and the little, spark that's actually at the end of the body. Just a little here and there on the truck. I just thought it looked really, really clean with the black paint behind it. It just looked, mean, and I liked it.
So my next one, I wasn't going to choose one of mine, but since Cheech took Gravedigger.
Yes, sir.
I have
Absolutely.
to. I have to. This is what started it all for me. We just reached the, I think 10-year anniversary or 15-year anniversary of since designing this. And, again, I wasn't going to pick one of mine, but since Cheech did call me out of my green Ghost Digger, I had to switch it up. But this still to this day, I wish I would have had a piece of the truck. I have some die cast and I have some shirts, but I never got a piece of the truck and it's still something that I wish I could have seen it in person. Never did. Just wasn't able to make the trip out to Pocatello for the event. But you never forget, the first design that made it. And there was so many other designs, like I didn't think mine was going to make it, but they loved the old school hot rod theme. I still love old school hot rods, rat rods. And, if I were to change anything on this, I'd add some rust to it, some patina, make it a little bit more ratty. But that's just me. But this is my number 2 theme. My number 2 paint scheme is just sentimental for me, and a lot of people don't realize that Bigfoot changed the lettering on their own. I just used the regular Bigfoot logo, but they were the ones that added, the more aggressive, chopper style lettering. And again, still to this day, this truck will always be special to me for that reason.
Brad, can you guys hear me again?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yep.
I bring that photo up. The one thing I liked about this, how you did it, is perfect timing. When this truck came out, Jesse James was popular. Orange County choppers were popular. That Sturgis was growing leaps and bounds of becoming more public size than people agreed on. Like the motorcycles. You're starting to get in that turn where Gas Monkey and all those hot rod restoration shows on TLC was coming by. So when you designed that truck, it was kind of nice timing, because now Bigfoot's entering that domain with the hot rod and the chopper theme stuff that was going on. So I give props to you, because that was kind of good timing, in the right place, the right time. And that was always that was really a good looking truck. I really kind of wish they would bit the bullet and gave that truck beadlocks. I thought that'd be pretty cool to see beadlocks actually on that thing, and go from there. You know what I mean? I thought that'd be pretty cool.
What's that thing in your hand?
So it's related to this. So my mom thought it was like the coolest thing. Like, hey, my son designed a Bigfoot. Let's go to the local newspaper.
Yo,
19-year-old Bradley.
That's amazing.
Before I started losing my hair,
dude, that's so cool.
And I'll say this here. Where is it here? I was on a 10-year-old PC at the time with 512 megabytes of RAM.
I remember my first computer that I ran Monster Truck Madness 2 on had a 20 gig hard drive, and now this thing has like 100 and whatever it is. It's like we could play MTM2 on our phones, boys. It's crazy how far things have come. And it's
my
so cool
computer's
that you got
so
to do that. I was just
advanced
happy when there's a sticker on somebody's truck. You designed a whole truck and then went and did more. Like, that's cool. You could have an event with all your schemes against each other in rigs now.
My computer is a little bit ahead of schedule, where I can't even play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
And here I am.
Doesn't allow it.
Right.
And here I am 2 years ago, spent $2,000 on a computer. I'm about to drop $2,000 on a MacBook. So
gotta do the design. That's what the Macs are for. That's right.
Yeah. But Robby, I'm sorry we're keeping you over the hour that we agreed upon, but hey, we're having fun.
Yeah.
What is your next truck?
So I'll let Cheech have Gravedigger, because he gave good reasoning that was exactly the same as me. I had some honorable mentions in a backup, but one I can't leave out is Amsoil Shock Therapy.
Yes.
The original. Now, I like the second one that had the red with it too. That was at World Finals 12. But for 11, for me, there's some sentimental value there too, because there was a time after I was done with crewing and stuff. I was too young to drive a rig at that point, so they kind of just used me for a first quarter, and learned a lot and everything. That's cool. Went to a little bit of a funk, came back. When I came back, I had known Zimmer since before he drove Anmore. He actually let me stay at his house and do a show in West Lebanon back in 2004 and cover it for all Monster and the whole 9 yards when I was just getting going. So long-term friendship there. That Quincy, Illinois show, they didn't have any crew. It was him and Quincy and Chris the Edge. My boy Josh Rhodes, along with Ed Horman, were like, we can cover the show. You go. And, I had traveled up there with Strader. We had a couple extra crew guys there. They were on Mark's truck. Zimmer was, by himself. So I went and helped him out. There was a leak in his tire that was slow. It was the muddiest show that I think I've ever seen, except for maybe that Denver one that just happened a couple of years ago. But he ended up winning. and I was quote unquote the crew chief there for him and them. So, I have a ton of memories with that truck, just, working and doing stuff with Zimmer, supporting him as he rolled up and down the road, beating the heck out of that truck and just having a blast. And I mean, honestly, I love the scheme. It fit what they were promoting with AMSOIL. And I just felt like it was simple, clean, but you could read it and you could speak to this as a graphic designer. Nothing irritates me more on a truck design wise is if you can only see the details of the truck from close up or only from far away. You need to be able to think, is this going to be a good scheme in the stands and on the track? Right.
Yes.
I think the shock therapy was great for that. You could always see the name. It was always bright. There was no question what truck that was. So it was pretty awesome on the track too.
Completely agree with that one. Cheech, what is your next truck?
Now, this is kind of, for me, it's always been stuck to my head. I was always a fan of this truck. When the first time I saw it, I actually worked at Anaheim. But for me, it will be everything's changing here. For me, it would be the 02 to 05 Pat Gerber Shocker. The 3D body Shocker, I thought, was ahead of its time. Same kind of thing with Wild Thing. That was one of my honorable mentions is the Wild Thing truck, the Skull, 3D Skull. But Shocker, I always thought this was really, really cool looking, ahead of its time. Also another S10 body truck, but how he made the lightning bolt stick out of it, for me, I just thought it was pretty cool looking.
We did the West Coast tour when I crewed with Chucky and Frank, and he was there for some of that. Tremendous guy. Again, just laid back, super nice, super helpful. And it was always good schemes with that, but that's the one that's definitely most iconic for him. I think he's still banging around doing stuff with his off-road stuff now.
All right. My last and final truck. Danny Moss would agree with me. Okay. Pink and teal lightning for the win. Dude, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. You remember the Bigfoot and Snakebite toys that had like the little buttons on the top of the truck and stuff? Oh, I had those trucks, and I had the Snakebite. I think it was green Snakebite, and this scheme will always be my number one favorite Bigfoot scheme, hands down. From the simulated wheel covers in there to just the blue metallic, just everything about this just is my childhood. Okay, like there's a reason why it won the bracket contest. Like you cannot go wrong. They need to bring this scheme back, please. Bigfoot, at some point, please. I am begging you, please, Bigfoot, please bring this one back, please.
Newsflash, they don't even watch us, so we're all right.
I don't care. I don't give a shit if they watch us.
They probably do watch us.
I need this back in my life. Okay. Not just because of the amazing scheme, because it honors Dan Runty, because Dan Runty made this scheme his. Okay.
Well, give me your honorable mention, because my honorable mention is also another Dan Runty scheme.
Honorable mention is going to be Bigfoot Power Wheels. Now, a lot of people might think a lot of people think I should put that higher on the list, but no, I think Power Wheels, it's a great scheme and all, but it doesn't scream Bigfoot to me. This screams Bigfoot. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I love it though. It's passion. That's what carries us through with this stuff, man. That's the big deal. And yeah, it's hard to pick between that one and the original Racing Stripes of 8. Yeah, there's Josh.
How dare you? How dare you, Josh? When I see you at World Finals next year, I'm going to kick you so hard in the balls.
I said the same thing as him, so I can't say anything. It's both, man, honestly, for that. The Racing Stripe and the Cruiser just look so sweet. Love them.
My wife just is walking in the room where she's going to get mad at me for yelling.
I was talking about Bigfoot schemes, honey. Come on.
She brought me Wendy's.
Oh, even better.
All right, Robby, your next and final scheme.
Well, she took Digger from me. I had 2 honorable mentions, but we're going to go with one that hits close to home for me because that's the theme now. Devastator. And I will say it's the Hot Wheels one. The original design was clean. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think out of all the Hot Wheels schemes, that one fit the name the most. And Mark just let them do what they wanted. He didn't have any input there, but once he saw it, he loved it. And the Rhino and everything like that is just big and cool, and it fit the name of the truck. And it stood out. You never had to go, "What's that truck?" That's Devastator. So
I agree with you, but I also disagree in a way. I love the OG Devastator. It just, to me, it screamed just badass, in my opinion.
Mark was an old boat racer, so he knew how to kind of, he knew horsepower, he knew what looked cool, that sort of thing. And I wish he would have kept the GMC body too. I like Chevy stuff, but like that would have made it stand out even more, because like you said with your first one with Heartbreak Kid, right? It's the body, that's body style made it stick out as well on the scheme. It fit.
That's something I always wanted to notice, is why you don't see any modern day GMC trucks. If you take a look at them on the road, they're some of the nicest looking trucks on the road. Sharp. They do look different than a Chevy, but you don't see any GMC trucks, and I would like to see more. I think they look cool.
Somebody get Scott Stevens on the line, man.
Oh, GMC is like, my dad has an 03 GMC, 2500. I love that rounded, front end body style. And hell, last year I was driving a 2024 GMC Denali for, at times with my job I was working at. So I'm a Ford man at heart, but I love the way the GMCs look. I've always liked how they look better. But Cheech, what is your last and final scheme?
Okay, well, Robby, do you have another honorable mention?
Excalibur. Just clean. Okay. The original Excalibur. Love it.
So these are my two. My final one, and then my honorable mention. And I don't really want to go biased. I am going to go biased. Like I said, with the Hall brothers, that black Rammunition was my favorite until this year. And not being that way, but I'm going with the black and yellow Raminator. I'm a black and yellow fan. Some people like Danny Mass thinks it's an elephant on the side, which is connected to the Hemi. That's all I care about. But the cool thing about this is, even though Mark drove it in the commercial, I was the one that debuted it publicly at St. Charles, Missouri, at the Harley Davidson car show that they had there, and I did a car crush and stuff like that. I like it. I like kind of the Van Halen esque theme on it. The Rebel, they say the kind of the Rebel, the SRT ram head that's on that. And plus, it's the first time since 2014 that they actually did a change on the truck itself.
And it's Steelers colors. Come on.
I'm a huge fan of the black and gold, and I just like it. Also with the black and the yellow Goodyears and stuff like that.
Black and yellow.
I just love it. That's Ram Halen. That's we go with that. But it's a cool. I like that one. But
what about Rupert, man? What about the Rupert Raminator?
I don't know.
Levi's got a very underrated scheme here.
Nightmare GMC with the blue stripe. Okay.
Yes.
Right. I remember that was from 90 to 91, right?
Yeah. And I remember seeing a picture of that and just being like, wait, what? I think that scheme was amazing. But Cheech, what about your honorable mention?
And we talked about Rente and we talked about this and that, but for me, Pink and Teal was good, but the problem with Pink and Teal was every single time I saw that truck, it was Eric Tack that was driving Bigfoot because of where he was from in Butler, PA. So you went to the Pittsburgh, Canfield. Rente was in Canfield, but for me, going to the Monster Jam events, that's all I went to. I didn't go to the special jamborees and stuff like that. So I saw Eric Tack. The first time I saw Rente was behind this truck, and that is Bigfoot Chrome Illusion 2.
Yes.
This one, I like the look of this because DuPont put their two really helped out with. I mean, Chrome Illusion 1 is iconic, jumping over the airplane. the cars and the television show on UPN. But I believe they debuted this on Monster Trucks 2000, I believe.
Yes, Monster Truck 2000, the best Monster Truck show in all in history.
But that scheme also introduced the rivalry with Raminator, with Hall Brothers Racing. When you saw that red one, you would see Chrome Illusion. And the Hall Brothers, and I think Bob Trent and them will say, you ain't gonna see. The sad thing is you didn't get to get it recorded or calculated. But I personally think that you didn't have two guys face each other more than Mark Hall and Dan Rente. I think they kind of surpassed even Dennis Anderson and Tom Mentz in shows, because a lot of times Dennis and Tom face each other one show a weekend, while Rente and Hall are facing each other, a big outdoor track, and they're facing each other either 2 or 3 times that weekend. So, but for me, yeah, it's Chrome Illusion just because of how it looked, and it was either that or the other one. I was gonna go with the OG Snakebite.
Yeah,
I just thought Snakebite was good, but I just for the fans' sake, guys, we do have a couple people with their choices. I know, Robby, I'm sorry for doing that to you. Let's see here. There's a couple. If you guys want to talk about some, we got a couple people say here, like Zach Steele. He talked about Airborne Ranger. Any Bad News Travels Fast. Gunslinger from 2010. I wasn't a fan of that one. I was more of the stack lettering Gunslinger from like 2000 to that way. Wrenchhead.com. Now, question, were you a fan of 2 or 1? I was a fan of 1. Someone said Haymaker, and also, I don't get USA 1 America.
Just because it's America,
1.
I guess.
And then
Steely's great. He's a good guy, man. Appreciate you, Steely. Bad News definitely was up there for me. They were the first website that we did that wasn't our own. Bruce and Jamie Haney gave me a chance, and always remember that and appreciate that. So a lot of times this is like hearing a song. A song will take you back to a memory of something you did or where you were when you first heard it, kind of thing. I think for some of us, that's the way it is with the Monster Truck schemes. I like this scheme because it was the first Monster Truck I saw, or I like this scheme because it was the one that, stuck with me or whatever it is. Definitely Bad News is one for me. They did a good job. That was another, Hot Wheels era one that I thought didn't miss the mark. Definitely made sense with the name and really stood out.
And then Brandon's doing a fantastic job of keeping that truck's name relevant, and probably one of the nicest, cleanest trucks in the United States or in the world in general is Brandon's Bad News Travels Fast. We have another one.
Yeah, we have. I'll do Levi's next, Cheech.
Okay, go ahead.
So Levi, our good buddy Levi's going. So the 2010 Domination of the Dome Sudden Impact. That's a good one. Mac Tools Bigfoot. I love that scheme. Red and black. You can never go wrong with that, in my opinion. Gravedigger 12, 1997. The original Time Flies, which I love. Linux Obsession is his 5th. And then honorable mention, the Green Liquidator with the 97 F-150.
The Camo Green.
Man. Yep.
Yeah, shouts to Mike Wells, man. Shouts to Bob Fisher. That team was pretty darn good led into the sudden impact stuff. That was one that stood out. That's a scheme that definitely is memorable. No particular order. 30th Gravedigger. I knew Eradicator was going to be in there for Steve Perry. Love it.
Let's see.
Got to get all the NDFs out of the chat, man. That's all it is.
Yeah. American Guardian was always a hot take. I actually liked American Guardian when he did that one-off with the Avalanche body.
Yeah, Rob was getting it there in the early 2000s with Monster Jam. He had a couple nice moments there.
And then he's got good old Perry Como, loud and dirty.
I love Perry. He is the Canadian Andy Slifko. That's what I told. That's what I told Steve out at Ransomville.
If you guys get a chance to do a show of Perry, do it. Like the dude is so humble and just funny, and even their whole team, Pat avec fromage. And then biased and then UFO, which is another great truck going with Liquidator, basically teammates in a way as I saw them.
Yeah, we should have done that as a whole episode, man. We just talk about paint schemes for 3 hours.
We got Lee Plato in here. What up, Lee?
Hey, Lee.
I also wanted to mention, when Cheech sent me that message, I was thinking like, what is one that because I mentioned Bigfoot Bad Boy. What's a truck that besides that I'm the most stoked on design wise, and it's got to be Stomper.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Like whenever somebody asks me to do like a replication, I get the most nervous because being a nerd like we are, I'm like I got so nervous doing it. Even the day that it was going to be unveiled, I was like, oh no, what are people going to think of it? But I had to throw that one up there as an honorable mention because I've always been a huge fan of that scheme.
Yeah, it's a great point, man.
Man, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining my kind of esque nerd out. I'm okay with that, and I wanted to do more of that. Still learning from other podcasts and stuff like that, and I thought that was pretty neat. But any outside of any social media people can follow you at outside of All Monster?
I mean, really, All Monster's the one. I just encourage people to take care of who takes care of you. That was what I was taught when it comes to monster trucks. So that's all I try to do. I would just want to say thank you to everybody that's been a part of All Monster or not, or looked at it. I never would have imagined that it even got to this point, and I'm just extremely grateful for people that are around helping out. Anybody that's ever contributed or helped with that is just, you're as much of a part of it as me, and I'm just a nerd that loves this stuff and has forever. So love it, man. Thank you.
Thank you for the love for this t-shirt, guys. If you go to hottopic.com and just type in Gravedigger, this shirt will be on the Hot Topic website. They're not really on the stores that much. I mean, heck, you have a hard time going after some Godzilla stuff. But if you want some WWE and Rock Band stuff, they have it there. But I found this through Tyler. And type in Gravedigger at hottopic.com and grab this t-shirt. Brad said this cuss word, and he likes it. It's been a while since you saw an adult Gravedigger shirt. It's been I think the last time, to be honest with you, I think I saw one was probably 2009, to be honest with you. Everything else has been kind of, that's the direction that they're going, so give them that. But it's kind of neat to go back and see something like that. I was talking with Levi. He said really a lot of the shirts that you would see that was been pretty cool to see on Gravediggers when they're bringing back old schemes, but they would put BKT instead of the Goodyear that Dennis would have back in the day. So yep, we got a blocker.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever. So once again, show some love. I'm gonna do a TikTok video of my top 3 monster truck tees on TikTok, and the other one I need to do it when I get back home in West Virginia because I need to grab that t-shirt. But this is one of them, and then another one I gotta show 2 more. So I'm gonna do that. But once again, guys, thank you, Robby. It was a good talk. We did an hour and 40 minutes of nonstop action, a little bit of Frontier. Screw you, Frontier, and go from there. But next week we will have Bill Bufka from Team Bigfoot, and we're gonna hear some stories from him, and some cool stuff that happened. He was there at the kind of the prime of the Bigfoot heyday when everything was going 8 cylinders and more, and with the Ford backing, Firestone backing, and all that cool stuff going on that time period. So we will have him on and go from there. Like I said, this weekend I will be at Gun Barrel, Texas. Once again, the most Texas name of the world. Bang, bang. and do a car crush at 2 o'clock. Come out. Well, it's 1 day event. It's crazy going to go there and then come on back. But get some seat time and have some fun. Enjoy the time and go from there. And then we'll get ready for some first quarter because it's just around the corner. And for people, Robby, where is going to be your first show for first quarter? Are you planning on going to St. Louis?
St. Louis is always in the cards because it's a wonderful show. Indy every year is pretty well set. Might be in Maryville for All Star. There's a lot of options. That the only one that bugs me is that I can't go see the Patricks. I still, since I've taken over their socials, I haven't been able to because they've been overseas. I really just go where, if it's relatively within my region. Cincinnati's on my doorstep. Dayton. You see me in the Midwest a lot. That's where I'll be. People can always hit us up and ask too. What's
Youngstown,
that?
Youngstown.
Oh yeah, Youngstown for toughest. I wasn't able to make that last year, but I'll need some good old Jerry Beck wheelie. Need some more of that.
You had some that day, Dayton. Some excuse my French. Some asshole wheelies, especially on Sunday.
Yeah, he was ready for more too. The truck just wouldn't cooperate with him, and then they had it fixed. They got everything fixed, and then they didn't charge it. So when he had that hit where the body came off, it was just done because he didn't have any charge left. That was all it was after going through a throttle cable, a transmission, a bunch of other stuff. They were going through it, but they were busting it, man. It was good to see him. And if you caught it on the intro, he did the horn when they put the spotlight on him. It was awesome.
I like also he's wearing the Caterpillar hat.
Yes. Yeah, that's yeah. Maybe not a Digatron driver, but we'll see.
How about you, Brad? Any social media?
People can follow me at the only Monster Truck Canucker, Shaw Speed Design Co. Again, in 2026, you guys probably won't see me much on the podcast. And for a bit of the year, Shaw Speed Design Co. will be slowing down just a little bit, just while I can focus on school.
So blow up his website and try to order as much designs as you can before the end of the year. Then he'll be ready for next year.
Use code Cheech for an extra $5 tacked onto your bill.
Yes.
And also, guys, in all seriousness, thank you guys for all the support on the podcast. It's can't believe we're going.
It's been a couple weeks for us, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, decade of destruction, boys. Congratulations,
oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Thank you, man. That means a lot, and I can't wait for what we have in the future. And Cheech, what about you for social media, my friend? What can people follow the Flying Panda
at? You can follow me on Facebook, Daniel Cheech Agosh. Instagram, MT_DaneAgosh28. Also, if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, Dan Cheech Agosh. It's kind of a little bit a different side of it because I collect diecast racing stuff, NASCAR, motorsports history in general. So I'm very, very down with that stuff. And also Monster Truck memorabilia and stuff like that. So follow me on TikTok. I love just showing off nerd stuff and go from there. If you guys want to follow me, you're more than welcome to. And I also like to send Josh Rhodes Godzilla dolls that talk to each other. And it's just funny. And outside of that, Crush This, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. No, I'm kicked out. Just Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm kicked out of my TikTok. The Crush This TikTok is I lost the password. So no more for that one. But we'll be all right. We got enough social media as it is. But once again, also follow Robby at All Monster on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook too. Follow all the information that you need. Him and his crew, if they're there, go ahead and say hi. They're not going to bite you. But say hi and all that jazz and then go from there. Just be on the lookout too on the Patrick stuff, and then also some of the Send It social media and maybe more. So we'll go from that. But like I said, once again, guys, check up on your friends and family. We're kind of entering that time where it's the beginning of Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and there's some people probably battling right now and alone or overseas, the military people, thank you for your service, and we're thinking about you guys. Are doing what you're doing. The people in the hospitals and stuff that cops, firefighters, people at the airport, air traffic controllers, people that work on these holidays that are missing their family. We're thinking about you, and and just try to enjoy your time as much as you guys can. And once again, call, check in your friends and family. Also, it's the winter time, not the summertime. The animals that normally stay inside, bring them outside, north and around this area, especially where Brad lives. He lives in the Ice Age, but where me and Robby live in that general area, today was a high of 29, low of 5, and the animals need to come in too. Also, with my couple of my friends too, if you can donate blood, go to the United Red Cross, Central Blood Bank. That helps out in general too. But Brad, you know how to do. End this thing with a bang. Bang.
Yep. And just saying, it is minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit here. So yeah, you bring in your pets and animals, and like Cheech said, check up with your friends and family, guys. Until next week, guys. For the last 10 years, we've been saying it. And hey, I was able to keep the rubber. Well, in a way, rubber side down. I won the Retro Evolution race with Beam Motorsports. Finally got the dub. Finally got a win after 2 final rounds. Finally making it. But keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up, everybody. Peace.